Attention to Paul's first epistle to the Corinthians. For your consideration, the 7th chapter. First Corinthians chapter 7, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, beginning at verse 25, concluding with verse 40. When you all have it, say amen.
Amen.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, beginning at verse 25, concluding with verse 40. When you all have it, say amen.
Amen.
There are a lot of verses to read. Don't you think so? Yeah. So y'all sit down. Brothers and sisters, when we left you from our last discussion, we was talking about the question of marriage. Should I or should I not? We want to continue that discussion because Paul saw this as an issue that the church had. And they asked him particularly the questions concerning marriage.
All right.
Now, I suggested to you that many of us have a difficult time addressing certain things that's in our churches or certain things that's in our world we don't think should be in our churches.
All right.
But brothers and sisters, when it comes to the problems that Christians have to deal with in the world, they really ought to be addressed in the church.
Amen.
Because the church has the answers that the Lord has given unto us to not only how to manage the church,
all right,
but also how to manage our lives.
Amen. Amen.
I wish I had a witness here. And too many times we see church life as being different from our personal life.
All right.
When it is your personal life that should be a manifestation or a showing of your church life.
All right.
I wish I had a witness here.
All right.
In other words, brothers and sisters, if you don't shout at home,
all right,
ain't no sense of shouting.
Yes,
Wish I had some.
all right.
If you don't feel the Spirit of the Lord outside the church building,
all right,
ain't no sense of coming in here making like you feel in here.
all right.
And conversely, if you a blabbermouth at home, I give you ample opportunity to be a blabbermouth.
All right.
Your personal life, that is where your Christianity is.
All right.
And so whatever you struggle with in your personal life ought to be addressed in the church so that you will know how to live better as a Christian.
All right.
I wish I had a witness here.
Amen.
There's too many of us who have a church persona.
All right.
Or a church personality.
All right.
We come in church and we act one way. This is our holy look.
All right.
This is our sanctified behavior.
All right.
This is how we do it in the church. Well, brothers and sisters, if that's not you, if that's not your personality, if that's not how you operate
all right,
in your personal life, why are you putting on a church persona?
All right.
Because God knows who's fake,
amen,
and who's real.
Amen.
And he's not looking at your outside activity, he's looking at your heart.
All right.
I wish I had a witness.
All right.
I said I wish I had a witness.
Amen.
And so while there are many folks who do not feel like certain elements in our personal life should be addressed in our church, Paul here addresses marriage because it was an issue for the Christians at Corinth in their personal lives, and they wanted to know how to be better Christians. They wanted to know what did the Lord require. They wanted a better understanding of the teachings of Jesus the Christ.
All right.
And so when we left you last week and was talking about the question of marriage, should I or should I not? Should I get married or should I not get married? I think we all left here understanding the answer.
All right.
Did we not?
Amen.
I said, did we not? I think we all left here with an understanding of the answer.
All right.
Because Paul suggested to the church at Corinth that if a man is having trouble controlling his sexuality or his sexual behavior, he needs to find him.
All right.
See, I told you we knew.
Amen.
So it's already there. If you want to get busy in the bedroom, you need to get married.
All right. Amen.
He says, even though that's the recommendation, he really would like for the Christians to be like him.
All right.
He was unmarried. And
right.
Again, I remind you that last week when we talked about unmarried, we're talking about people who don't have. Thank you very much.
All right.
We're not talking about folks who are not married but still got somebody they sleeping with.
All right.
We're talking. Y'all got quiet, bro. Did I indict somebody? We're talking about folks who have made up in their minds that they're not going to have.
Right.
Thank you. And Paul says, because he was a virgin, because he was celibate, he says to the believer, to the Christians, I wish that you all be like me.
All right.
But then he said something very interesting that caused us to look deeper. And what we discovered that Paul was saying was that every man cannot be celibate.
All right. All right.
Every man do not have it within themselves to be celibate, because celibacy is a divine call, according to Paul. In other words, God has to give you something.
All right. Amen.
I wish I had some help here.
All right.
God has to give you something so that you do not wish. Yeah. So that the fleshy lusts do not overtake your thinking.
All right.
All
right.
He has it. And for most of us brothers, he haven't gave it.
All right.
Can I get it?
Amen.
Can I get over?
Amen.
He hasn't gave it. I mean, when we see it walking down the street, he hasn't gave it. When we see it sauteed, shaped so fine. Yeah. Because she is a brick house. Yeah. Her body's perfect. Well, I better leave y'all with that. He hasn't given it.
All right.
He hasn't given it to all of us.
Amen.
And so Paul says, even though I would rather have you to be like me, to be celibate, yeah, God hasn't given that to everybody. And so for those whom he haven't, for those whose minds and heart burn with lust.
All right.
Yeah. That's what he said.
All right.
Then you need to get married. He said, now in the marital relationship, as Christians, husband and wife can agree to abstain from sexual intimacy for a time.
All right.
But it should only be for
a time.
Y'all not catching this. It should only be for a time, because if it's too long,
all right,
the lust of the flesh,
all right,
will lead one or the other to commit